So how to work out a pull day? Well, first of all, what is a pull day? A pull day is when you work out all of your pull muscles. So in the previous video, I talked about how to work out your push muscles. Your push muscles are your chest, your triceps, and your lateral delt. The lateral delt is basically just the lateral part of your shoulder. Your pull muscles are your back, your rear delt, and your biceps. Basically, biceps are like the ones that a lot of people want to train because they think like they look really good. And they in fact do look good, but a lot of people don't realize that they also have to train the triceps, which I explained in the previous video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to train your biceps, your back, and your rear delt. Let's get to it. So a lot of people like to work out each individual muscle group one at a time until they move on to the next. I don't like to do that. I like to do one workout for one muscle group, then go on to the next, then go on to the next, and then sort of cycle around like that. That's what I explained in the last video. I would go from chest to shoulder to triceps. In this, I'm going to go from back to bicep, and then I'm going to finish off with shoulder because I only have one rear delt shoulder workout in this day. So first of all, before I actually do work out my sets, the very first one is always a warm-up. So if I'm starting out with back, let's say, the very first one is always a warm-up set. I don't want to risk myself being injured. I don't want to risk being strained. And then when I move on to my biceps, it's also going to be a warm-up set. And then eventually when I get to my rear delt, that's also going to be a warm-up set until I actually do get to my normal 3 sets till failure. So what do I start with? The very first workout that I start with is just regular pull-ups. This is where you put your arms like this, where the palms are facing away from you, and you just pull yourself up like that. What you want to do is you want to try and get as much of a stretch as possible with your arms hanging all the way up like this, and then try to lift yourself up as high as possible. And then on the way down, you don't want to just let yourself go because that will risk you being injured. So what you want to do is just on the way down, you want to go very slowly like that. You want to go very, very slowly. That way you also get a very good stretch. You also get a very good mind-muscle connection, and you don't risk injury. So usually I do 3 sets of this until failure. Now listen, bro, before we go on, I just want to make sure that you know about my program down in the description below, where I teach you how to manage working out, building muscle as a student. I built a specific split just for you in order to optimize the amount of time that you have as a student, but also while trying to hit as many of your muscle groups as possible. This way, I can teach you how to build muscle as a student. So if you're interested in that, then go click the link in the description and I'll see you there. Let's get back to the video. Not only do pull-ups really help in warming yourself up, but they are also good workouts in themselves. So what I would recommend is starting most of your workouts, whatever they may be, with bodyweight workouts. They are very good warm-ups. Before, what I used to do is I used to warm up my chest days because I used to do chest days when I was still in university. Right now I'm on summer break. What I used to do, I used to warm up my chest days with dips. Now I have a push day, so I just do dips whenever I have those. So what I do next is I move on to a bicep curl, specifically with the cable. The cable is very important because as opposed to the dumbbell, you get a very, very good stretch. So with the cable, you always have a constant tension, right? Let's say I'm lifting it up like that. I always have constant tension. Whereas with a dumbbell, it would just be gravity doing a lot of the work. But with this one, I'd be forcing myself to pull it up. Cable is super important. I would recommend trying to fit as many cable exercises into your workout as much as possible because they are very good. It helps a lot with the stretch. Having that cable, like it keeps a tension in your bicep in whatever workout you're doing, whatever muscle group you're doing. It keeps the tension in there a lot more than dumbbells, than the bar. So keep that in mind. Just try to do cable exercises. That's why most of the exercises that I show you will be cable. So I do 3 sets of those until failure, specifically until failure. I want to get to the point where I'm literally like straining my face like this, like where people like look at me and think like, what the fuck is this guy like taking a shit or some shit? Like I want to get to that point because that way I know that I'm pushing my absolute hardest, and that's how you grow. You want to grow by pushing your absolute hardest. You want to grow by pushing your limits. You can't grow by going until mild discomfort. You've heard that joke, right? Going until mild discomfort. We don't want that. We want to go until our limit and then push past that if we can. For the cable, we can't really push past our limit because we do need both hands. However, if you're doing like one arm cable curls, then it's like fair enough. You can lift up your hand like that. But this time we're not doing them. So just go as far as you can. Get to the point where you lift it up a bit and then you literally can't do it anymore. And then on the way down, just go slowly. So I'm gonna do 3 sets of absolute failure. After this, I'm gonna go to one of those squat racks and I'm gonna get ready for bent over rows. These are absolutely amazing for back. Like, they work out your back like a very good amount. I only just started integrating these in my workouts, and I'm telling you, they're fucking insane. Although I should warn you, you probably will do less than you expect. Like, you're probably gonna put like, I don't know, 1-2 plates on it and be like, oh yeah, I can do this, when in fact you can do less than that. I put on 1 plate to begin with a couple weeks ago, thinking like, oh yeah, I could do this, and I could do it. After that, I put in 2 plates, I couldn't do it. I was like, fuck me, I really thought I could do 2 plates. I thought I could do more. I got humbled. So I just put half of that, and I do about 70 pounds on each side. 70, that's 150, 160 pounds in total, where I bent over rows. These are very good. I do about 3 sets until failure again. And of course, as always, I want to go to the point where I'm like straining my face, because that way I do know that I'm going to a failure. And a really quick tip, don't fake it. Honestly, like, do not fake it. Don't fake that face go like that. It does nothing. Like, be honest with yourself. Pretending to push yourself like that isn't doing anybody good. It isn't doing you good, because the whole reason we're working out is to build muscle, right? Why would you fake it? What, because you're a pussy? Okay, yeah, fair enough. Come on, just don't fake it. What I used to do it a lot before, where I used to do like, I don't know, let's say rows. As an example, I would do rows, even though I didn't actually do them when I used to do this like faking technique. So I'd do rows, and then let's say I'd get to the 5th rep and I'd pretend to be tired. I'd be like, when in fact, like, I knew I had 5 more reps in me, when I pretended I still had only 2. Just don't do it. Doesn't do you any good. So now, moving on, I go to a machine. I do preacher curls. You can also do this with a dumbbell, but for me, I like to do it with a machine more, because again, it's sort of with a cable and it gets a better stretch. So for this one, you basically want to put your arms down like that, and you just, just simple curls. The only difference is that you have it down on like a bench like that. You have it down on a sort of like table, and you bring it up. The reason this is really good is because it does give you an insane stretch, and it stabilizes your arms. So you make sure you get that proper form every time. You'll notice it's actually really fucking hard. Preacher curls are really hard because you won't have the momentum from swinging your body like that. It's all your arms doing the work like that. You won't be swinging your arm like that. No. That's why preacher curls and cable curls are really fucking good. They make your arms do all the work. Again, with preacher curls, you want to bring your arm all the way down. That way you get an insane stretch right here. You see how my bicep goes down like that? This is from getting a really good stretch. The people that don't do this don't get a good stretch, and they don't fill out this little gap between my elbow and the end of my biceps, right? So the people with longer biceps, maybe in some cases it's just genetics, but for most of the time, if people have like shorter biceps, then it's probably because they do less stretches. They do exercises that require less stretches, like probably, curls, like normal curls. That's why we want to do preachers and cable curls. They give you an insane stretch and make your bicep longer. And now moving on back to your back, we're gonna do cable back extensions. I'm pretty sure that's the name. I haven't really found the name yet. It's just a lot of different terms are being thrown around. Basically, you want to put your cable up like this, and you want to bring it down with straight arms. This works out your lats like that. Imagine the lat workout machine where you pull it down like that, but it's just better. You work out your lats in an insane amount. Like, you get a very good pump from this, and you'll notice as you're pulling it down, you will feel it about right here. That's where you want to feel it. That's how you train your lats. And of course, as always, go until absolute failure. For this one, I do about 2 to 3 sets until failure. And now finally, moving on, I go to the chest fly machine, this one, but instead of doing chest flies, I put the machine thing all the way to the back, and I do these. I do shoulder extensions, I'm pretty sure what these are called. The reason I want to do one arm at a time and not with my back like that is because you get a very good stretch in the rear delt. And that's super important. If you were to do it backwards like this, if you were to face the other way, you could do it this way, right? If you were to do it like that, you wouldn't work out your rear delts as much. You would mostly work out your back, but even then it wouldn't be as good. So face the side, put your arm like that, boom, boom. You'll feel it a lot right here. That's where you want to feel it, and you'll get a very good pump because, of course, the very good stretch. You'll notice an obvious pattern. We want a good stretch. A good stretch means a good mind-muscle connection, means good pump, means you build muscle. Honestly, That's the way I see it. It's as simple as that. And now finally, moving on, I'm gonna do the final 2 exercises that I do every single day, which is just neck curls. I go to a bench and I put a dumbbell up to my head like that, and I just curl it like that. Like that. Of course, this is just to train my neck because, as I said before, a neck is a very attractive muscle, but not a lot of people will admit it. If you saw someone with a very skinny neck but a very muscular body, it would look very unproportionate. We don't want that. I just do about 20 to 30 reps of that, and then that's one set. I do about 2 to 3 of those every single time I work out. So that's about, 6 days a week, let's say. And then after that, I go downstairs in my gym and I find a pull-up bar and I do hanging leg raises. This is basically where I lift my legs up like that and I bring it up slowly, right? So I start off with my legs like this. Maybe I could bend them a little bit. I bring them up like that so it's like up against my body, and then on the way down, I want to go very slowly. This works out my bottom 4 abs, specifically the bottom 4, because we already train the top 4 enough from a bunch of different exercises. Because if you didn't know, a bunch of different exercises indirectly train our top 4 abs. Like, let's say the push down, tricep push downs. This you literally need balance in order to push down the weight, and the top 4 abs already do that. So we want to train the bottom 4 for more definition. So all of these workouts work your pull muscles, specifically your pull ones, like we talked about before, your back, your rear delt, and your bicep. I like to do a push-pull leg split nowadays because I have a lot more time on my plate. However, a lot of us do not have that much time on our plate. A lot of us have maybe an hour, just a bit over, or just a bit under an hour. So that's why I created this specific program in the description below, where I teach you how to make muscle as quickly as possible, specifically tailored to students who don't have that much time available on their plate. However, this can be used by a lot of other people as well, like I mentioned before. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in learning how to build muscle quickly, specifically if you don't have a lot of time in your day, then go check it out. Anyway, I'll see you next time.